Welcome back, GTV8 viewers. Today we have our 1993 GMC Sierra pickup with the typical driver's side rip in the seat. I'm going to be kind of giving you a brief little idea of how you could fix this, I guess my way. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but if you want a general idea of what to do. So first I kind of grabbed a little ripped chunk of this just so I had an idea of the color I needed. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but I mean, it's somewhat close, I guess. So I went and found a cushion here. You can probably get those at your local, I don't know, Walmart or something. This here we got some of our mesh. Picked this up at the dollar store. Dollarama is probably like $2 or so. So what you're gonna do is basically just cut out little chunks. That's gonna basically fit the hole that you got. I'm gonna kind of just tuck these in here, just to kind of make it a little bit more smoother, so it's less clumpy and whatnot when you sew it back together. Excuse my efforts here. It's hard to do with one hand. Anyways, you get the general point. So you're going to kind of just, lay it out however you want. Cover this back out, and then you're going to cut out basically a strip. That's going to basically be able to cover the general size of your hole. And then we're going to get to sewing here. So what you're going to need is some yarn, or I guess thread with a needle on it. You're going to want whatever the color match is or close to. To me, I don't really care. This is pretty close, I guess, to, a match. It'll at least be better than a giant-ass foam hole. So anyways, you're going to get that. You're going to get your needle. And you're basically just going to do loops, sew it all together. And that's your short, simple fix on how to, repair your torn driver's seat and pretty much any pickup, because a lot of them have them for this year and age. So, all right, so this is kind of our first effort here. You're going to loop the string right around. Sorry, where the fuck's my camera here? There you go. You're going to want to loop it around into the needle here. Have your end just kind of tied off. So what you're going to do is just kind of, trust me, I'm no expert when it comes to sewing, so you're going to kind of just poke it through, I'm assuming, and then just kind of see if you can get it through a hole here in your fabric first. And then you're going to kind of just pull it up and through the existing fabric in your thing. You're going to kind of pull this through just like so. So you got your needle. It's through the fabric. It's through the fabric in the seat. And then because you've tied off your knot on the end here, so there's no way for it to go through. Sorry, this is a really shitty angle for you guys. Anyways, you're going to kind of see if I can figure out where the fuck the camera is. There we go. Okay, so you're going to tie that. You're going to put this needle through. You're going to kind of just pull it. And that'll kind of create a knot existing boundary. So we now have our anchor point, which is holding this fabric down. You're going to want to kind of do it as close as you possibly can, but you're going to thread it through the seat, through the fabric you're putting in, pop it back out and through, and then you're going to kind of just feed it through. You're going to do this the whole way. The closer and tighter you make your knits, this is information from my great grandmother, she's told me, the stronger it's going to hold. So you're going to want to do this. Kind of just keep feeding it through, poke through the existing fabric, feed it through, the tighter the better. And so just to give you an idea here, this is kind of what we got going so far. You can kind of see it's just holding together kind of the existing fabric. So we're going to kind of just feed it through the whole way until you got your strip there. And hopefully that'll kind of exist a patch, and then after we can cut the existing fabrics just to kind of clean it up. And then I'm just going to use marker to just kind of go over this whole thing, I think. Anyways, we'll be back when that is further done. Alright, so a little progress report. We're about halfway on this one line here. I ran out of string in my little line there, so I kind of just, to show you, because I'm not an expert, I just kind of tucked this under there, and I'm going to continue to string it together. So, but to give you an idea what you're supposed to do when you're kind of reloading your string and needle here, you're going to take your needle, feed it through, and then you're going to kind of just go to here. You're going to kind of pinch these two ends together, like so, kind of just pinch and drag so it's all tight together. You're going to take this and kind of just twist it up, and then you're going to do like a really little baby knot right at the end there to hopefully kind of keep whatever string you can. There you go. So here is your tiny little knot in the end that basically just seals it so it's connected. Right now you got this. So anyways, to thread, you're going to do the exact same thing. Kind of just weave into the existing material you're using, then back under and through like the foam and kind of around here, and then you're going to kind of pull it up like that after you've created your anchor point, of course. So I'm going to kind of see if I can try to show you that with one hand here. Okay, so you're going to poke it through, kind of just see the shortest distance you possibly can to, holy fuck, this is a lot harder with one hand than I thought it was going to be. Okay, let me just get it through here first. Okay, so now you're at this point. So you've got it through the fabric, through there. You're going to kind of take this and you're going to feed it through your existing hole, right, like so. Right, now you're pulling it through here, and it's going to create kind of that little anchor point there. So that's your starter. Now you're going to continue kind of going along. You want to just kind of feel where the hole is, figure out where your best hole is to go. Probably like, I'd suggest like maybe 3 holes over your fabric there. You're going to kind of just go like this, feed it through, pull, pull, pull. Now you have your base starter. You're going to keep going. Next one over, and just kind of carry on as you go. It's not going to look beautiful, you know, it's not like a factory reset on your seat or anything, but it's it'll be better than obviously whatever that is. Okay, so I'm kind of noticing as I'm going, you know, when you lay this down flat, I've got quite a bit of excess here because if you pull it up, the seat's still pretty good till there. So what you're going to do is kind of figure out that point, roughly about there, and then you know to cut off this much, so you can either get your pen, draw a line directly down here, so you know how much to take off, and then you're just going to trim that. So we'll be right back. Another thing you can do instead of just trimming that is you can kind of fold it so it's tucked under like so. Just gives it a bit more strength if you're using double the material to kind of loop on there. Then you have a nice strong solid base, so it's not going to rip apart, because as you can see from my first attempt at ever sewing in my life, this is quite you know, stretchy. So progress report for first time sewing, not too bad. You're gonna have to trim this off, but you'll notice when you kind of come to this point, there's probably a little bit of a bulge coming out of your seat there from the hole, because I guess, I don't know, compression, it kind of pushes out. As you can see, I got a little bit of a rip there. But what you're gonna kind of do, just to give you a little tip, is you're gonna kind of hold this in with one hand as you carry on sewing, kind of pull this over just so it's nice and even. You know, it'll pull it back to its original shape, maybe hopefully not make that pop out as bad. But anyways, be right back. Okay people, as you can see here, not an expert sewer. This kind of came undone a little bit, but for the most part it's actually held together pretty good, like around here, somewhat around here. Like I said, there's a first time for everything, so it's not going to be perfect. This is obviously missing a little bit of spot here, so what I'm going to basically do is take this, kind of measure out a bit longer of a piece this time, and I'm going to cut out a second piece and just kind of put it over as I'm practicing my sewing skills, and slowly kind of patch this double time to, you know, make it double as durable and hopefully make it a bit cleaner of a finish. So I'll get back to you when I'm done that. Okay, so here's your second patch. Kind of just make it fit clean over that. I'm gonna pull it a bit more this way this time so I make sure I cover that, and that should be good. All right, so just got my needle ready with my string. In case it wasn't obvious, I'm gonna probably start more over here. That way I manage to cover this spot and be sure to not waste any more material than I have to. Anyways, be right back when this is all done. Alright, so far, second lap's gone far better. We have just from here to do, just to kind of seal it for the last thing, but because I'm getting a bit better at it, I'm going to show you with one hand here, just so you kind of get the rhythm. So once you have your knot anchor point, which is what I put right here, you're going to kind of just, I count usually 1, 2, 3, about, I don't know, 4, just so they're about the equal amount away. You're going to kind of just push down. You're going to watch here. Be really careful not to stab yourself, because I can confirm it is very uncomfortable. You're going to just pull this through, and you'll get something like that. So this is basically what you're going to do. You're going to just keep counting. Sometimes if you notice the threads are kind of falling apart like that a little bit, I'll go back maybe 1 or 2 holes. Kind of just see the same thing. Equal gap. You're just doing this the whole way along until you get a nice seal, as you can kind of see I've done around here. So afterwards, we're going to just trim all these little flakies, kind of get these things out of the way, and then we'll kind of take the marker to it and see how close it comes out. Okay, so not too bad. We've done our second loop. We got our second mesh on there. It's not looking horrible. I mean, it's better than the hole I had before. So now what we're going to do is just kind of take your scissors. We're going to kind of just go along here and just kind of trim. These scissors are really shitty, so you got to kind of Just do it really quickly. Be careful not to snip your string here that you've just fed through, because that would be kind of fucking pointless and you'd have to start all over again. But yeah, you just want to kind of trim around, get rid of all this excess shit that doesn't really matter, kind of clean it up. Again, hard to kind of focus with one fucking hand while you're doing this, but unfortunately I do not have a head cam, nor do I care to purchase one. So anyways, if you guys are enjoying these type of videos, these are kind of just small fix videos. I mean, I like to keep my shit pristine, so I mean, when you buy a vehicle that's already got a pre-tear, you can't really take care of it yourself. So if you're in a situation like me where you have a older vehicle, this could be older F-150s, this could be old, like, you know, Dakotas. I don't know if it's probably not going to be as easy with leather shit, because I don't really know how to sew leather, but I imagine it's probably the same concept. But anyways, I'll trim this all up to my expectation, then we'll kind of move on to the coloring so you guys know what to do. Okay, so we are back. This is our second run here. Sewing's not too bad. I mean, I trimmed it up as best as I can kind of get with the shitty scissors I have. So for my expectation, this is actually pretty solid. Just to give a quick run over what you're going to need again is a needle. You're obviously going to need some string. This is the excess, of course. You're going to need scissors, you know, maybe a knife if you want to cut out chunks of the foam that we've got. That's also material. And then whatever color marker or whatever you're going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of my garbage here and excess material, and then we'll get back to coloring it. Okay, so we're back. We got our marker. Shout out Mr. Sketch. So from what I've kind of learned from doing my first little bit of coloring here is I would suggest kind of going with the grain here for your string, because if you do not and you're not an expert sewer like me, there's going to come a time when you kind of pull the strings a little bit loose and the last thing you want is slack. So I'd kind of do those first maybe, and then for this it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I'm kind of just giving her, I guess, really, because I mean, this is all you really can kind of do. Just want to get those strings somewhat close. I mean, like, whatever, like at the end of the day, it's not going to look perfect again. This is more of a kind of just a small fix, tidy it up a little bit. I'm one of those people that's pretty picky about all my shit. Like, I like keeping it pretty good. So I'm going to just go ham with this, and then once it's done, we'll get back to you. But there's a brief clip just to kind of see how it's turning out. It's pretty close. Okay, so this is our finished project. This is the color of the bench seat. You can obviously see it doesn't match completely due to the grooves of this string and material that we're using, this mesh. The marker doesn't exactly go, you know, all the way through. You can see the bottom layer a little bit. Obviously I didn't put any marker on the bottom layer, but I would suggest if you want a more solid outcome anyways, probably do that for future reference. But I mean, for probably like $2, I think, and then you can probably go to your local auto wrecker, get a knife and just cut some foam out of a seat or something that's already fucked. You'll probably be able to skim away pretty cheap. Very few items to actually get this done. This is pretty much it. I mean, not an expert. That was the first time I've ever sewed in my life. Didn't turn out great, but it didn't turn out horrible. Like you can see, it's a little, you can obviously see, you know, the discoloration and whatnot from before, but that's just because you're using marker. I mean, if you wanted to go through with actually like dyeing the material or something, like in a bucket of shit, it would probably come out a lot more even. But anyways, thank you for watching. If you like these type of videos, like and subscribe for more. It is all appreciated. Maybe one day this channel will blow up, but probably not. Anywho, thank you for your time. Take care.